You're listening to Richard Vaughan Live.
All right, here we are back together for our last half hour. We only have a half hour. We're not going to be able to extract enough information from Juliana. Mm-hmm. But in any case, we're with Juliana, and you can find information on her at juliana.com, doble L en medio, en simple. Juliana.com, and so you can read, if you want to improve your English, she's got a lot of little stories.
Plus all the radio programs.
Wow.
If you go to the word radio, you can hear the recordings of the shows, which includes music and guests. So it's not only me. And that would also be very good for your English.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And your stories.
All right. Wow. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. So she lived 25 years in Paris, between London and Paris.
On and off.
And ask her where she lives now.
Where do you live now?
I live in Brighton.
You live in Brighton. Ask her if she recommends Brighton as a place to live.
Do you recommend Brighton as a place to live?
Yes, I do.
All right. Ask her what's so special about Brighton.
What's so special about Brighton?
Repeat, please.
What's so special?
No, so special, no. So special.
What's so special about Brighton?
Well, Brighton is very eccentric. It's very creative.
You mean more than you?
It's full of creative people. It's a gay city.
Ask her what she means by gay.
What do you mean by gay?
I mean it's same-sex couples. You could be lesbian, or you could be homosexual, or you could be transsexual, or God knows, transgender. I don't know, but
the reason I ask is because when you say very gay city, I still remember when gay was.
I know what you mean, and that was the 1950s.
Yeah,
gay was like a
happy person. Yes.
Happy.
But now, of course, worldwide, the word you say gay, I think in Spanish, don't you? Mm-hmm. Don't you?
Guy. They say
guy.
Here do people say gay or guy?
Gay.
Gay. I think it's gay. It's become an international word. Why gay? I don't know.
But it's sad because I liked that adjective when I was growing up. It was a nice adjective.
Very old-fashioned, very 1940s or 1950s.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anyway, Brighton is a very special place. It has a palace, which, if you Google it, Brighton Pavilion, it was built by the eccentric King George, who was the father of Queen Victoria. And it's Indian on the outside and Chinese on the inside. And that's the landmark, you might say, of Brighton. Also, it's famous for the piers. The piers that it's a speciality of southern England. And Brighton had 2 piers. It now only has 1 because the second pier was burnt down on 2 occasions, suspicion, naturally, of arson.
How do you say pier in Spanish?
I don't know.
It doesn't exist. You don't have it.
Muelle. Okay.
It's un muelle que sale al mar.
Yes.
It's like a dock that goes straight out.
That's right. But in the old days, you would have shows, you'd have restaurants, it would be a place that you would have a passeggiata. And today we only have 1 pier where you can wander and sit free of charge, and you can buy fish and chips, which is the main food of Brighton, you might say. That's the speciality. And yes, that's the picture of the
fire.
So
it's a nice place.
It's a nice place. It's got about 250,000 people, I think. And they've amalgamated 2 towns, so it's now a city, and it's Brighton and Hove. Now, if you ask a Brightonian, or you think they're a Brightonian, if you say, "Oh, do you live in Brighton?" and they answer, if they don't live in Brighton, they say, "Oh no, I live in Hove, actually." So this is an in-joke, the word actually, because, "Oh no, I don't live in Brighton. You know, Brighton's not good enough for me. I live in Hove, actually." So
In Hove.
in Hove, Hove.
It's another town.
It's another town, but they've amalgamated the 2, and we are now a city.
Okay.
So, although we don't have a cathedral.
A city needs to have a cathedral.
Yes,
That's Catholic. Or you mean Anglican?
either.
Either. Well, you see, I didn't know until recently that Anglicans had cathedrals. All right.
We don't have a cathedral, but we even have. We had 2 town halls, one for Hove and one for Brighton, but now just one.
All right. The British are very special. You know.
Yeah.
You're a town until you have a cathedral, then you're a city.
Yeah.
And until 1,000 meters, you're a hill, not a mountain.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But now Brighton is international. When I first arrived 14 years ago, you couldn't even buy a pot of Turkish yogurt.
Turkish yogurt.
Turkish yogurt. But now a lot of the convenience stores and groceries are Turkish, or rather I should say Kurdish owned. And, we're not as international as London, of course, but they call Brighton London-on-Sea.
London-on-Sea. Yeah. I've only been to Brighton once, and I remember I didn't know about the Brighton Pavilion. And I was simply driving. I was simply entering Brighton and looked at it. I said, "My God, what's that?" And then I did my homework, of course.
Oh, did you just drive through?
I just drove down. I was in London, and I had a rented car, and I said, "Well, let's drive down to Brighton," because I've heard about Brighton all my life as a tourist place, and many Spanish people go to learn English in Brighton.
Exactly.
It's interesting. She just says Brighton.
Yes.
Brighton.
Like in America.
Like in America.
Brighton.
You say Brighton.
Brighton.
I always thought that the British didn't say that. I mean, we say cotton, button in the U.S.
Well,
button.
maybe it's...
What do you call this?
A button.
Eh? Just like me. Button. Button.
But maybe that's my Liverpudlian accent coming through. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know either, but it's nice to know.
I don't know.
I don't know. The others say butter.
Oh, no.
Brighton.
Not butter.
But, okay. So, ask her if she has a special predilection for Brighton.
Do you have a special predilection?
What does that mean?
Attraction to.
Oh, attraction.
Do you have a special attraction of Brighton? To Brighton?
Brighton?
Well, I got there because my husband wanted to leave London, and he gave a choice. It was.
Excuse me, your husband? You're married?
I was married.
Oh, okay. That was going to be my next question.
In life, you always have to experience marriage once.
Okay.
Or twice.
No.
I've been, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Once. Have you experienced marriage once?
Yes.
All right.
That's why she's at the crossroads.
Enough is enough.
Once is enough, exactly.
You're not a believer in the institution?
No, I believe in it, but
Okay, but it doesn't always work. All right. But getting back to, you said you don't have a special attraction to Brighton.
I've grown to appreciate Brighton.
Ask her where her favorite places in the world.
what's your favorite place in the world?
Of course, in the world. I mean, she's been everywhere.
Yes, everywhere.
No, not everywhere. Paris.
All right. Ask her if she likes Paris more than Rome.
Do you like Paris more than Rome?
Well, I only knew Rome in the 60s, and I don't have friends in Rome. So the answer is I prefer Paris because I spent at least 25 years on and off in Paris.
Ask her if she has ever lived in Spain.
Have you ever lived in Spain?
No, the most I've ever spent in Spain was last year. I spent 1 month in Seville. And I'm considering spending, well, not considering, next May I will be back because I have enrolled for another course, a writing course at Cortijo Romero. And I plan to go to Cordoba because they have the Patio Festival. And I'm looking into that. And that's as far as I've got.
The Patio Festival.
Oh, yes.
In May.
In May in Cordoba.
That's good. It's not too hot yet.
Yes, and I do like flowers. I love Andalusian architecture because, of course, it's Arabic, Islamic. The Mudakar architecture, I love it. I love the courtyards, the fountain, the tiles.
Mudéjar. Yes, you were saying Mudejar. Mudéjar architecture.
And of course, I would like to speak some Spanish again. And I need to improve my Spanish.
Okay.
But I'm not the sort of person to sit in a classroom.
You have to be with someone.
I have to
and
be
speak.
immersed. I have to be, with people. Ironically, in Brighton, we have a lot of intercambios with Spanish people. And believe it or not, every Thursday in the pub opposite where I live, they have a Spanish intercambio, Spanish and English.
Okay.
Every Thursday.
All right. Ask her how long she was married.
How long were you married?
I was
Repeat.
How long were you married?
¿Cuánto tiempo eras María?
How long were you married? Married.
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 Mira, hay que terminar la palabra.
Okay.
I mean, really, how long were you married? I mean, I've never been married. I'm Richard. How long were you married? They have trouble ending words in this country. It's just, especially English words that end in a consonant. They're lazy. They will not be cognizant or aware of it, and they will not make the effort to finish the words. And it drives me insane.
Sorry.
Everybody says, I was Mary. Oh, you were married, so you changed your name. Or Mary. They never say married. All right? Ask her how long she was married.
How long were you married?
20.
Married.
No puedes decir married.
Married.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah.
About 23 years, and we were together 25 years.
So you lived together before? Or after?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Not much.
Ask her if her husband's English.
Was your husband English?
He was English, but educated in South Africa.
Ask her if she met him in Brazil.
Did you meet him? Did you meet him in Brazil?
No, I didn't.
Ask her where she met him.
Where did you meet him?
I met him at a magic convention.
Oh.
Ask her if she's a magician.
Are you a magician?
I was involved in the world of magic and illusion before I met my husband, which is why I met... in fact, I met him 2 years earlier. I met him in 1978 and then re-met him in 1980.
To re-meet somebody, miss. That's her invention, eh? That does you
No,
will
he
not find that in
doesn't.
a dictionary. She met him again.
Okay.
Later. Said, oh, yeah, I remember
At
you.
the same convention.
Ask her if her ex-husband is a magician.
Is your ex-husband a magician?
He is, or he was. He's dead now.
All right, ask her if he was a good magician.
Was he a good magician?
No, a very bad one. He was a multimedia man. He wasn't on stage. He was a publisher, an inventor, a pioneer of magic tricks. And he was known worldwide, but only with the older magicians. Because if he